Society suggests that we should grip harder and force reality to yield, but applying extreme pressure to a goal often produces nothing but exhaustion. We frequently fall into a trap where hyperfixating on a specific outcome serves only to push that objective further away. Obsession triggers a contracted state. When a goal is treated as a survival mechanism, the brain enters a defensive posture. This projects a repellent resistance. Reality registers this forceful energy, and subconsciously others feel you are trying to take from them. Approaching goals with desperate attachment transforms the world into an obstacle to be manipulated. Treating the environment as a hurdle rather than a space to engage with ensures your stagnation. Shifting from a contracted state to an open one requires 3 specific adjustments in how you relate to your objectives. The first shift involves prioritizing the process over the outcome. This is most visible in high-pressure environments, like commission-based sales. A salesman who enters the floor obsessed with a $5,000 quota creates an atmosphere of heavy expectation. If he shifts his focus to simply connecting with people and honing his craft, the energy becomes light and approachable. Focusing purely on the enjoyment of the interaction typically yields the highest sales numbers. By removing the pressure of the quota, the salesman actually achieves it more consistently. Relinquishing the ego's attachment to the financial result allows for a more fluid performance. Outcome independence is the most practical strategy for achieving material success. The second shift is the protection of your authentic core. We often stall our own progress by abandoning our unique strengths just to mimic what we perceive as higher-level success. Consider a creator who builds an audience with signature whiteboard videos. To appear more professional, he might ditch the whiteboard to copy the stage coaching format of his idols, only to find that he has lost his natural rhythm. This happened to a creator named Victor, who gained a substantial following through esoteric energy updates. Out of a fear of being judged as ungrounded, he stopped making the content he was passionate about, trying instead to fit a conventional mold. Both creators hit a wall. Copying others introduces a grinding psychological friction that makes every task feel forced. Restoring momentum requires re-owning the specific anomalies that make you different. When you double down on your own quirks, the path clears. Flow is impossible while you are rejecting your own identity. Authenticity provides a distinct advantage because it cannot be mimicked by competitors. The third shift is the cultivation of space and neutrality. Maintaining an open state requires the mental capacity to receive new ideas. When overwhelmed by digital consumption, the nervous system enters survival mode. It reacts as if we're being hunted, leaving no room for inspiration. Breaking this cycle requires intentional digital silence. By observing your thoughts without trying to control or judge them, you allow the survival instinct to subside. This practice of neutrality creates a mental vacuum. When the mind is no longer occupied by defense and control, creative flow can enter. A problem cannot be solved by the same contracted consciousness that created it. Mental space provides the necessary clarity to move past the initial problem. True letting go means trusting the present moment enough to stop arguing with reality. Applying these 3 shifts creates a momentum known as the flywheel effect. When you drop resistance in one area, like a creative hobby or a professional skill, that single ring begins to turn. This momentum transfers because openness is a practiced skill. By learning to be vulnerable and process-oriented in your work, you naturally begin to apply that same lack of resistance to your relationships and financial decisions. The first ring drives the rotation of the rest. Building a process so authentic and a mind so open means that eventually the things you once chased begin to follow you.